Hello, welcome to Caves of Qud. I'm doing this is a special Cutting with Devs series. I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to do it. I'm cutting today with Caelyn, who is a designer and writer for Caves of Qud, as well as hello.
I'm here.
As well as a VTuber. And streams as a lovable alias Gra. I messed it up. Gra.
You should. Oh, by the way, you're not sharing your screen with me yet.
Fair. That I am a professional.
Hey, me too.
I almost shared my OBS screen. Oh no,
That's what I did for my presentation at Roguecell. Actually, is I ran the whole thing in OBS. And just sent the windowed projector screen with the share screen thing on StreamYard. It was very janky, but it worked out. It worked out pretty good.
There it is. I love Discord is pretty good, except for the fact that when I try and stream a full screen game, it shows up for a split. This is not interesting. Let's let's get into character gen here. Okay, all right. So what is your current favorite build?
My current favorite build is one that I like to call Limb Surprise.
Limb Surprise.
Limb Surprise. There are other names for it, but that's the one that I was able to drudge up just now. You want to start with a mutated human.
Okay.
And let's start by putting 16 in everything.
16 and everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Just as a starting point, because this is a build that doesn't have any it just doesn't have any weaknesses in that sense. Let's bring strength and toughness up to 18, please.
As is a good starting place. Okay.
And the last 4 points I tend to distribute according to my whims. I think that what I would want to do is put 1 point into everything but ego, and a second point into either agility or intelligence.
Okay, I'm gonna go for agility. Yeah, I'm gonna go for agility. That's
reasonable.
If I'm going to presume, I'm guessing this is a chimera build.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. This is quite the chimera build. Okay, so I need you to go to physical defects.
Yep.
And choose. Let's have you choose tonic allergy.
Okay.
Potentially dangerous, and then please buy 5 unstable genomes.
Fantastic.
That's all you get.
Okay, this is this is actually not that far removed from the one I'm currently playing on my series.
Yeah.
This is really good. This takes it to the nth degree.
Well, this one is specifically engineered to give you as many limbs as possible. Because while irritable genome is lots of fun, it means that frequently you won't be able to choose the limb granting option when you have the opportunity to mutate. Right. This one guarantees that you can always pick the limb.
Fantastic.
And so we shall. There is a soft rule with this build that you must pick the mutation that has extra limbs on it.
Amazing.
And Marauder is a good start for this one. Nice and hardy. Able to use some activated abilities even though we have no offensive mutations.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to copy the code to my clipboard and I'm going to paste it just so I can put it into the description. All right, so I think that's it. And do you any objections to starting in Jopa? I guess
no. Go ahead and start in Jopa.
Okay, fantastic.
I wasn't going to put any restrictions, but I was going to recommend Jopa because, this is the kind of build that's a little challenging at the beginning.
Yeah. I am going to check. I'm going to be. I'm going to turn adventure mode on only.
Oh yeah.
Not for any other reason other than. Accidents happen, and I don't want this to end.
Yeah, having to start over repeatedly isn't necessarily good entertainment. Yeah. I feel that. And that's fine. I never judge. I tend to actively recommend that people spend some time playing with permadeath turned off. I know that there are some folks for whom that feels like, spoiling. Oh, you already got it off.
I do have it. I guess I just in case.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are, and you can see the characters from my beginners mod.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that. So
yeah,
but
totally.
I've never actually gone through the entire starting mod.
Oh,
at the point I discovered it, I was like at the point where like I feel comfortable. So I didn't know if it was for me, but then again, it might there might be some tidbits of interesting.
Part of my thinking in adding this mod is that it does actually give you a mechanical advantage to have Caelyn here, because Caelyn is a pariah, and pariah rep is useful because you can use it to trade in for the trash divining ability, a great way to get secrets.
Oh, okay. This is already interesting and stuff I don't know.
So there are actually some mechanical advantages. Also, Wallbreaker's little vine cord message there, the press space with the extra S, can be preserved into vine wafer sheaths at an oven if you have this cooking skill, which we don't yet, but we will.
Okay. So I always like to check. All right, admired by job, disliked by trees, admired by the Farmers Guild.
Yeah, I don't think that taking a small rep hit to trees is going to be much of a problem for you. You might want to, while you're in the look dialogue, you might want to see what Mehmet and Ulrich are like today.
They work the water vine arose, slowly shaving water, wine wafers from their stalks with the lazy energy of the denouement of a life well lived. Scars mark their human arms and Servine?
Yeah, Servine.
Servine flanks, signs of combat in days past. Still, their smile is warm and comforting to every stranger they see. And I meant to go further, but they have some pretty nice equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, they are impossible.
Not nice enough equipment to be worth it by the time you can kill them.
Yeah.
But, nice all things considered.
I will not be going murder hobo today, and I actually meant to talk to you about. I meant to talk to you about that before we started recording, but that's fine. We can if you want, since I do have a history now, an unfortunate one, but I'm absolutely willing to own up to that.
No, it's totally fine. I do like. See, here's the thing. I don't actually take umbrage with anyone doing a complete rampage approach. Heaven knows I enjoy taking dark paths in games as well. It's just like sometimes it's good to kind of play with the world in mind instead of optimization, and it can be easy to get attached to characters. So it's cool.
And this is actually gonna lead into some of my questions later on. I've got some prepped ones. So, but first of all, let's go ahead and take this quest.
Yeah,
I'm interested in helping and being helpful. I'm very helpful. Friend, you've come to the right hindrance. When I first stumbled into Qud, it was only through the mentorship of another pariah that I survived my first few days here. I want every wanderer who braves the Caves of Qud to have the chance that I did. You see, I've written a little handbook called the Qud Survival Guide, chock full of wisdom to help tender hoofs like you live a little longer. I'd like to have you try a supply run from the booklet, and when you pass the test, at the end, I'll give you a free copy. Plus, I'll give you as much free personal advice as you want. Sound good? Yes, I have one question. Do they sign the book?
Do they sign the book? That's a good question. Because they had it printed by a friend in Gritgate. If you examine once it's done, you can look at the book and it says that it's printed crisply on paper. It's
not on porridge.
It's basically a zine. No,
that's fantastic. Sorry.
Caelyn does zine culture. So Caelyn is a very important character to me personally, because Caelyn was the main character of the quick start guide that I wrote back in 2015 when I first started playing Caves of Qud.
Oh wow!
So I wrote a little twine game called A Hindrance Guide to Qud, and it was about Caelyn, this self-exile from the Cervidian Meadow, who encounters another Hintran pariah, and I used that as a framing for a quick start guide. This was back when Qud was even more obtuse at the beginning than it currently is. There was very, very little to help you out when you first got started. There were no Sultan histories. There was no cooking. There was no sharing water. It was just kind of like they drop you in the middle of nowhere, like in this village, and the only options for you to play with are Red Rock and the Rustwells, and they were more or less the same as they are now. So so at the time we really needed to have quick start guides in order to get started, because there was a lot of stuff that was very opaque. And that's why I made Caelyn up. Caelyn is kind of the avatar of my early participation in the Caves of Qud community, and arguably the reason that I got hired.
That's fantastic.
That survival guide was kind of what put me on Jason's radar. I effectively super fanned my way into working for the game, which is very surreal.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, right?
That's a real inspirational tale right there.
It is. It's definitely the kind of thing that you have to look into. There's definitely no way that there's no my path is not a reliable path, except that I kind of stuck around and did the work until an opportunity came, and that opportunity just happened to be really amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fantastic. Like that's the kind of thing. I'm a creator for myself, and it's that's the kind of thing I would dream of being part of. So that's really cool. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to skip along here a little bit.
No, there's a heroic amount of text in this quest because, a lot of questions, a lot of things to explain. So please feel free.
Fantastic. Okay, and what's this guy?
That's Wallbreaker. Wallbreaker is here to explain to you all of the things that cannot be adequately explained in the game's own terms. So Wallbreaker is here to break the fourth wall and help you answer questions that deal with meta commentary.
That's very clever.
You can also pretend not to understand, in which case Wallbreaker will be sad.
Let's do that for a second. What game do you mean, and what is this space bar you speak of?
Space bar you speak of.
Are we really doing this? You downloaded this mod. I can help you if you just step out of character for a minute. Mod? Download? Are these words of the eaters? You're really doing this, huh? You want me to go beep boop? Here's an amusing selection of procedural text to run through a Markov algorithm. Listen, I know you're the player. You're the only person I can talk to about game mechanics in here. Can't you just roll with it? Not until you go beep boop. Sigh. Beep boop. I am a robot. I am mollified and ready to learn now. I should have just walked away. That would have been actually perfect.
I mean, there's no in-game consequence to which one you choose. Oh, man. Wallbreaker is fun because it's just my opportunity to kind of step out of character and be a goofball, which is my nature. How I roll.
That's
why
great.
Gra exists, really. Gra is my goofball tendencies kind of amped up to 11.
All right, we got our first lore here. In 5295 BR, Antihim II, Inkwell, and Onyx, the Inquisitive Shade of Mava, the Alatum Pest, died of natural causes. We have a death.
Yeah. Don't forget to check the area north of Jopa, because it always contains a shrine that will lead you to a historic site.
Ah, yes. I didn't know it had a consistent location. I thought it was
always.
Just extra lore. Okay.
It always has a historic location, which is a huge advantage. Every once in a while, it'll also give you a relic quest, but that's rarer.
So, rarer. The Dromad doesn't seem to be selling bandages. Oh, okay. We buy them now.
Yeah,
from Irudat.
that's swapped around. It's on old Irudat now.
And you always buy witchwood bark. Keep your supplies high.
Buy that witchwood bark.
I actually didn't. I didn't know about Witchwood Bark for way longer than is like it's astonishing.
Yeah,
I just straight up didn't know.
Like it's not messaged. It's not in there like at all. The first kind of in-game acknowledgement we got is when I wrote the dialogue for Stilted Village Apothecaries, and they got the little saying, "Ease the pain, addle the bring," which was, me being myself again. But like before that, there wasn't really any character talking about Witchwood, which seemed very strange to me. And since then we've addressed it a little bit, but we could address it more. There's going to be a discussion on the team soon about revamping character creation in the very, very beginning of the game. And I'm kind of hoping that talking about tutorial stuff might be part of that.
That you're actually already addressing a bunch of my questions. Inadvertently, this is great.
It's all very topical. This is all stuff that is very important to me specifically, because I gave a whole talk at Roguelike Celebration that's basically all about trying to make this game more accessible to new audiences. That's just it's a very high priority to me. I have confidence that Brian and Jason are going to address the needs of the core fan base, but I want to see us getting new people into the game.
Yeah, and because it deserves it.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the more people buy it, the more likely it is that Freehold can hire me full time or something.
Yeah,
which would be awfully nice. We got to finance our next games, whatever they are.
I was gonna make a joke. You were talking in your stream about hopefully Qud sells more, so I can continue to work or do more stuff. And I was gonna make a joke. I don't know if it was in bad taste. Maybe you guys could do Sproggywood too, because I know there's.
I would do Sproggy. I would write for Sproggywood too.
That would be fantastic.
I would play in that space. If the company did it, I would go along. I've heard Brian and Jason making noises about doing something more historical, and at that point they would lose me. I'm not really the more historical we get, the less the more we get into real world history, the less interested I am.
Right.
I live in a fantasy world, and I like it that way. So yeah.
All right. Let me think. I have taken so. Just
be careful. Be careful. You're down here with only 18 hit points.
Oh, I gotcha.
So if you encounter anything harder than a snapshot, you should probably turn tail.
That is 100% the plan. I just to go over some of the stuff that Casthind. So I've learned how to buy bandages and how to buy Witchwood Bark, and now I'm on a quest to go and get a glow sphere.
Yes.
Which I believe there is a consistent. I always forget the name of the corpse. The Caver Corpse.
Oh, the Caver Corpse? That has a miner's helmet, which, frankly, Casthind should accept, but doesn't. I don't think they do consistently have a glow sphere. They do have a sphere of negative weight.
Oh, okay, that's
cool.
Yeah.
And that might be what you're thinking of.
That is 100% what I'm thinking of.
But that being said, if you can afford it, you can buy a glow sphere from Warden Ulrich. It's just, you don't start with much because you're a marauder. But once you raid it a little bit, you should be okay. If it proves dangerous here, you can just wander the salt marshes a little bit. Usually you'll find a snapshot raiding party or two that you can roll for goods.
Yeah, I am definitely playing things as cautiously as I can, because I know this. The Jopa crack is a new addition to my starting play. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something Narf put me onto, and it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand it's a great place to grind, but it can get you killed. It's potentially. It sure can. One thing about the waterlogged tunnel that I think people need to bear in mind more actively is that
It has a lot of open spaces, and those can be very, very dangerous, especially if a slug snout shows up.
Yeah.
When you're in the waterlogged tunnel, you want to find out where the areas are that can break line of sight, and you want to stick to them. Be near walls, be near corners. These things will make it a lot easier, and of course, always have somewhere to escape to. Don't explore so quickly that you can't get out.
Yeah.
And you know, if you follow that stuff, the waterlogged tunnel is less likely to kill you.
I feel like, and this is something I'm trying to incorporate more and more, is like never be more than like 3 tiles away from something to hide behind in case you encounter something.
100%. Like, you know, like sometimes you're gonna get a little bit further away than that, but you know, if you think in terms of securing areas and like making sure that an area is secure and taken care of before you move on, that will solve a lot of the problems that early players tend to have. It's hard to internalize the fact that Qud doesn't have a time pressure the way that other roguelikes often do. There's no forward motion pressure. You can take your time.
That's definitely something that it took me, ironically, some time to figure out.
It definitely takes a while. It took me a little bit, but once I recognized that, it instantly put Qud on a new level. It instantly made me like the game more, because I love taking my time. I love exploration. That's what I'm in it for. That's what I love about these games the most. That's what I love about procedural generation. It's going to present me with something new a lot, often.
I think ultimately that's a large appeal. Like RNG in general is something worth exploring, because
Absolutely.
You have no idea. You keep not even just an area, but a circumstance.
Yes, and the way that these things interact with one another, there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff in this game. It's ridiculous. And there's always there's more stuff every day because we've got members of the core team who are incredibly prolific. Chaos is always designing something. Whether or not it goes in the game kind of depends on how he manages to pitch it to Brian and Jason. Oh hey, that's a lot of fresh water you just got.
That is a lot of fresh water, and it's
you could go back and buy that glow sphere if you wanted.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually. I'm gonna also get some free XP from this glowfish. So I tend to, just to let you know, I tend to break episodes by when my character gets hungry, which I think is a good.
Yeah, sure.
Unless of course I do a bunch of traveling, in which case I have to.
Right, of course, you're gonna need to skip some of that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna buy this glow sphere for the purposes of completing the cast hind.
Yeah,
quest.
It's a good bow to put on it.
And then we'll put a pin in this. All right, there we go. Did I imagine it? Where? Oh wait, no. What?
Oh, you want to talk to Ulrich, the warden? He's the one who has the guaranteed glow sphere.
This is something I didn't know.
Yeah. Warden Ulrich always carries a single glow sphere.
And also, I didn't take our Mimic quest.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good one to get. you want to have that one.
Wow. Okay, there it is. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, am I giving up the glow sphere to?
No,
Caelyn?
you just have to show it to Caelyn, and then you can equip it after that.
Tempted to give it to Argive as a trinket.
Oh, glow spheres don't count as trinkets.
Oh.
They don't have any moving parts. They're solid state. Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, that's the kind of justification I made to myself. I don't know that it's official or anything.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna eat some fresh apple mats. I don't know if this is something. Okay, that looks more or less the same. This is something I wondered, and I think I even asked it for one of your streams. Are specific meals consistent in the effects they give, or do they have a range of consistency?
They have a range of consistency. They have a range of consistency, and it's a pretty small one. Apple Mott's, I believe, is 11 to 15% healing boost.
Okay.
That's just an example. The thirsted half rate is always going to be the same, but when there are numerical things, there is always going to be some element of variation.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, this answers a theory of mine for a while. Is like I always feel like, we'll talk about this later. This is something
sure.
So all right, I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys join me for this series with Caelyn here. Like if you did, and
I'm good. I'm so far.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. All right, see you guys next time.